I'm Tebow, and this is my non-nostalgia review of Alien. So what is a non-nostalgia review? Well, it's a new series of videos that I'm starting in which I look at how pop culture has affected the way I perceive a film that I have not yet seen. And I describe how all the information that I had going into the movie has affected my opinion of the movie. For example, my first video is a 1979 sci-fi suspense thriller movie directed by Ridley Scott, starring Sigourney Weaver. About the plot. From what I know, the movie is about a ship that crash lands on a forested area of a planet, and the members of the crew need to venture out in hopes of being rescued. And they eventually meet some creature that systematically starts killing each and every one of them. I don't know much about what incites the incident or how it's resolved, but I am aware that the alien, some kind of tongue, mouth, that it, I've seen that plenty of times. I'm also aware that towards the end of the film, Sigourney Weaver's character Ripley fights the alien, I believe, with a flamethrower or some sort of mech suit. I may be getting Alien and Aliens mixed up, but either way, those are references that you'll see out there and jokes that people will talk about. From what I can tell, the alien in this film uses a lot of stealth, and it's very rarely seen until right there at the end when it fights Ripley somehow. And that adds to a sense of confusion and drama that might very well be best seen the first time you watch the film. Knowing that Ripley's going to fight the alien towards the end of the film and eventually get away because she's obviously in the next movie, it kind of destroys the suspense for me because I know that she's going to survive. So any moment in which she's an instant away from death loses all tension because I know that she's going to survive. That in this movie it'll be all suspense, and I'll be left hoping that there had been more action and more intrigue rather than just trying to watch somebody I know they're going to survive get out of a situation. Overall, Alien is a classic sci-fi movie, and it has earned a spot on many people's favorite movies of all time list. But if anything, that only makes me more worried to see it after so much time of hearing about how great of a film it's been. Because in order to live up to all the hype that has been built around the movie Alien, it has to be an amazing film. And I don't know if Alien is that amazing of a film. Take all this into account, and my pop culture review score of Alien is an 8 out of 10. A 4 out of 5. 4 stars. 1.5 thumbs up? A B. But that's just what I know now. I'll catch you back in a couple hours after I've seen the film, and maybe my opinion will change. I just got back from watching Alien, and I really enjoyed the film. I was very worried going in that it would be too suspense-filled, and me as somebody who doesn't enjoy horror movies wouldn't be able to enjoy the suspense, especially with knowing that Ripley was going to survive the whole way through the movie. But it did a great job of presenting the information in a way that made me interested in how Ripley would survive. Not in the fact that she would survive, but simply in the fact of how she would make it out of there. There are a few scenes that were a highlight of the movie. For instance, the first time we see the alien with the room full of the chains, the atmosphere, the sound, and the lightings, they all come together to put the audience on edge to the point where it would have been disappointing if something hadn't happened in that scene. But Ridley Scott delivered, and he brought the alien into that scene. It is a very slow film. It starts out on this freighter, and then they learn a distress signal, and they go down to a planet, and it's a hellscape down there, it seems, with wind and awful conditions. Eventually, a select few of the crew go down to this cave, and they get attacked by this face hugger, and they bring the crew member back to the ship, and that is what ends up starting the whole outbreak of the... Fortunately, I was forced to stream the movie rather than find a physical copy of the movie, which definitely hurt the quality in a few ways. But despite that, I embraced the fact that the lighting was a bit off and that the sound was a bit quieter than it should have been. And I, towards the second half of the film, completely forgot about it as the story ramped up and my heart started to pound more and more, and it became a lot more of an exciting film. The biggest downside of Alien is the fact that the first half of the film is all build-up. But I was prepared for that. And if you are prepared for it to be a lot of build-up, you will enjoy Alien. If you are prepared to get excited for how it's going to end, you will enjoy the movie. Into it thinking it's going to be a technical masterpiece, you're going to be disappointed in a few different areas. And the characters really propelled this film past my expectations. You have a couple characters whose names you will remember: Ripley, Dallas, and other names. There were Lampert and Ash. But that's about it. But even the characters whose names you forget, they have so much personality, and the movie goes to such lengths to show that they are just real people on a ship trying to get home who get waylaid by this. It doesn't focus on Ripley from the beginning to show you that she's the main character, because when this movie begins, she's not a main character. She's the third officer on the ship. She's not the person that anyone will turn to in a time of crisis, but she becomes the person who gets out, the person who prevails against all odds. And in that way, she becomes a lot more compelling than if she was the Supreme Commander Ripley. I'm successful at everything. And it makes it a lot more interesting to see her succeed when I may know that she's going to succeed, but Sigourney Weaver does such a great job of not making it look like she's moments away from succeeding and getting off the... Overall, Alien was a very good film. It kept me wanting more for a lot longer than I thought it would. I came into the film worried that the suspense would be too much or that the build-up would be too much, but it was a perfect balance of the two, especially for someone like me who is not a fan of horror movies. I will admit there were a couple times where I hid my eyes a little bit, but that's only because it's not my style of movie. But that being said, I very much enjoyed Alien. And I know that before watching it, I gave it a 8 out of 10. And after watching it, I'll give it a 9 out of 10. I think it was better than I expected and a very good film. And it really accomplished what it was going for in a way that few films will. That's just what I think. Tell me what you think down in the comments below. And my name's Tebow, and come back here to see more of me.